Hello and welcome to my introduction for my brand new series, Cameron, King of the World. I've been quasi-hyping it up for long enough now, and it's finally here. I've finished almost all of it, and it's sitting on my laptop, taking up over 100 gigabytes, waiting to be released to the world. And so on Monday, this coming Monday, 1st of March 2021, the series will be starting. And I've thought to myself, like, wow, I have like 31 videos here. I could just release one a week, and that'd be me done for the year. It's like 7 months worth of videos. I could relax till Christmas. No, I don't think anyone would be, would be bothered if there was like only a video per week for the rest of the year. But it's not the way I envisioned it. I just love that idea of just doing a month-long, super concentrated, like all-out, balls-to-the-wall series. But it hasn't been, it isn't as good as it could have been in that sense, and I want to prepare people for that because I want to hype this up so people get excited to watch the videos, but I don't want them to think that it's something more than it actually is. These videos are simple discussion videos, just like this one, me in front of a camera, no real editing as far as cutting out all the bullshit where I mess up, but no pictures or images or clips or anything like that, which I like to do when I have the time, but there's a lot of stuff to come in this series. Again, 31 videos. If I was to spend time putting in the images and the clips and stuff, it would take me a couple of years probably because I just don't have the time. And I'd rather get out my thoughts on all of these films and all these other topics rather than just sit on them for a couple of years and just like spend so long going through the editing, to which point that I think a lot of people would still just listen to them and not really watch or kind of, appreciate some of that stuff, which sounds like I'm moaning. I'm not at all. I get it, because when I watch YouTube videos, I tend to listen to them. So it's like a lot of that kind of effort and detail doesn't always get appreciated, and I understand that because I do the same thing. So I felt like it wasn't worth it because it's just ultimately about me discussing these films, and that way I can just get it out there. But it's taken a long time to get this far. I've been working on the series for 5 months now, and I have pretty much every video ready to go. I have at least the first 2 weeks all scheduled and ready to go. Just a few gaps need to be filled, and it'll all be done and ready to go every single day. So every day in March of this year, you will see a new video from me about James Cameron and his movies. So you're probably wondering, how in the fuck did you manage to spread a 7-film filmography across 31 videos? And I'm going to tell you why. Now, I may or may not have had the time to make a little trailer for this, like a little kind of buzz, kind of show reel thing. But if I haven't, and even if I did, I'll explain to you and tell you and run down exactly what you're going to see in the following 31 videos. This is kind of the introduction to the series, but the main Cameron King of the World series starts this Monday, so I hope you're looking forward to it. I don't have like a time of when the videos will go up, I suppose. Maybe I'll just put them up midday, I suppose, 12 o'clock, something like that. I know that people optimize. They try to look into the best possible time to release something. I'm not too fussed about that. I'll probably just make it lunchtime, 12 o'clock UK time every day, something like that. So you've got all day and evening to watch it if you want to keep up. Now, if anyone manages to keep up with all of these videos for the entire month, I'd like to hear from you, and I'd also like to personally call you on the phone and say, what is wrong with you? Because honestly, some of these videos are fairly lengthy, and I don't expect anyone to keep up. So don't feel the pressure, don't feel like I want you to, or that you need to kind of be all caught up. By all means, cherry pick. If you don't want to hear me talk about aliens, just skip those videos. If you don't want to hear me talk about Terminator 2, just skip those videos, If you don't want to hear me talk about any of these films, skip all the videos, no problem. It's all good. I get it. You follow and you watch the things that you're interested in, and it's not always going to line up from the people who you subscribe to. I get it. I understand. But yeah, in terms of like video length, I initially wanted to do like 20 to 30 minute videos for every one, but some of them got really out of hand. So there are like 50, 60 minute videos. There's a couple that break an hour of just me talking about this shit. So, hold on to your butts. Anyway, so here are the 31 videos that you'll see in Cameron, King of the World. Chapter 1 will be Xenogenesis, my thoughts on kind of the beginning of Cameron's life and career, and the first film that he made in 1978, entitled Xenogenesis. Chapter 2 is A New World Spawning, where I cover the lead up to Cameron joining the film industry and then directing his first film, Piranha 2, The Spawning. Chapter 3 will then be Piranha 2, The Spawning, my thoughts and review on watching the film for the first time. Chapter 4, Creating the Terminator, the story behind the scenes of how Cameron came up with the Terminator, putting the film together between 1983 and 1984. Chapter 5 will be my thoughts on revisiting the Terminator and my review of the film, my thoughts, my personal recollections. Chapter 6, which takes things in a bit of a different direction. Instead of reviewing his film Aliens, I've made a trilogy of videos talking about the behind-the-scenes story of that film from pre-production, production, and post-production. So Chapter 6 is Alien 2 in Stasis, 1984. Chapter 7 is Ripley Goes to War, filming Aliens in 1985 and 1986. And Chapter 8 is Aliens Unleashed, finishing the post-production photography, the editing, the sound, the film being released, and its legacy, and some of my thoughts on the film from a personal perspective. Chapter 9 is Life's Abyss, and Then You Dive. This is about the behind-the-scenes story of the 1989 film The Abyss that was made between 1987 and 1988, and the story of James Cameron's most difficult production. Chapter 10 is my thoughts on The Abyss after revisiting it for maybe the first time in a couple of decades. Chapter 11 is Returning to Skynet, the story of Terminator 2 coming together between 1990 and 1991. Chapter 12 is, of course, my thoughts on Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which is a fairly lengthy video. I got really into that one. Chapter 13 is a little bit different, no grain but what we make. This is my kind of buyer's guide to what Blu-ray to pick up for Terminator 2 because there's various versions and various transfers. Chapter 14, The Abyss Special Edition, my thoughts on the 1993 re-release of The Abyss with a lot more footage than the original theatrical release. Chapter 15 is my thoughts on True Lies and seeing it in high definition for the first time. Chapter 16 is the story behind James Cameron's Spider-Man, which almost got made in the mid-90s. Chapter 17 is about Terminator 2 3D, The Battle Across Time, which is a ride that was made and created between 1995 and 1996. My thoughts on that ride and how you can kind of see some of it now, even though the ride is already closed. Chapter 18 is Raising the Titanic, the story of James Cameron putting together the movie Titanic between 1996 and 1997, which leads, of course, into Chapter 19, which is my thoughts on the film Titanic. Chapter 20 is Cameron returning to the ocean with Expedition Bismarck, which is a documentary that he released in 2002. Chapter 21, we have Ghosts of the Abyss from 2003, another deep-sea exploration expedition documentary that Cameron made. And then Chapter 22 is Aliens of the Deep, another deep-sea exploration documentary that Cameron made around that time. So kind of a trilogy of videos talking about these documentaries that he made between Titanic and Avatar, which leads into Chapter 23, which is Journey to Pandora between 1994 and 2009. The very long story towards the road of Cameron making the film Avatar, which leads us to Chapter 24, which is Avatar, my thoughts on the film and review of it, and personal recollections of watching the film for the first time when it came out and watching it again now, and how I feel about it after 10 years. Chapter 25 is a discussion on the documentary Titanic, The Final Word, which has heavy involvement from James Cameron, even though he didn't direct it. Chapter 26, very similar, Deep Sea Challenge. This is a documentary about Cameron diving down to the Mariana Trench in 2014. And then we talk about a couple of films that Cameron was involved in the past couple of years. So Chapter 27 is covering Alita Battle Angel from 2019, and Chapter 28 is covering Terminator Dark Fate from 2019 and whether or not it's the true Terminator 3. Chapter 29 is the future of the Avatar sequels and beyond. Chapter 30 is my ranking of James Cameron's filmography, and Chapter 31 is the coda of the entire series, wrapping things up and talking about a few of the videos that didn't make the final cut that I might like to make in the future. So there you go, that's what you can expect. It felt fucking overwhelming just to list those off. So yeah, enjoy. I don't know. I don't know how successful this series is going to be, but it almost doesn't matter to me because I've enjoyed doing it so much. I've had such a blast doing a lot of deep dive research stuff, and I've particularly enjoyed just the behind the scenes research and doing the videos about the behind the scenes stories. And you know, a lot of it is just me telling you the timeline and the stories about things that were happening towards the build up and the making of these movies, but I tried to inject a little bit of my own opinions on some of these things that happened and how unbelievable some of them are to me in a lot of the cases. One thing you will be accustomed to hearing a lot is me talking about how difficult this production was, how tough it was for everyone on the shoot, because it just seems to be a running theme throughout his movies. So you'll have to bear with me and be ready for a lot of repetition in that case. And also I would say that with me filming a lot of the series out of sequence, I will probably repeat a few things here and there, and I think I mentioned that during the video, so I'm probably just overthinking it and over-worrying that I'm repeating myself too much, but I think you guys will mostly be forgiving for that kind of thing. Anyway, I will say goodbye to you for now. I have a video that will be like, you know, my conquering my collection for February of 2021, some of the Blu-rays I've watched over February, but I'm going to either post that on Sunday, or maybe I'll just wait until April to post it. And maybe I'll just like mix in February and March and give you like a big bumper, you know, Blu-rays that I watched over the past 2 months video. Because I don't want to, it's really fucking pathetic, but I want to have on my channel just the chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to break it up, you know, so I'm not going to post any other video throughout March unless something really fucking crazy happens, which I doubt that it will. You know, it's like, oh, Star Wars Episode 10 announced or something, and I need to make a video. I can't imagine any scenario in which I'd really want to make a video. There'll be a few things. I probably want to talk about WandaVision once it wraps up and do a video on that, but that can wait until, you know, I'm not too fussed about jumping on things while they're timely to get more views or anything, so I'll wait until April before any other videos. And then April, we lead in, will be the 10-year anniversary month, and I don't know whether I'm going to have 24-hour movie marathon 8 ready by the beginning of April, I have to say, but I will do my best. So we'll see what happens, but either way, I'll try and do something cool for April to celebrate the 10-year anniversary. I had bigger plans in mind, but you begin to realize that, you know, especially with me, I always just I plan things that are way too big for me to actually execute at least the level I want to, so it might not be as grand as I'd hoped, but it should still be, there should be some stuff, and I've got like pretty much most of March now to kind of just sit back and just let the videos play out, and I'll have a lot of time to kind of get stuff ready for April. So anyway, Monday, I hope you look forward to it. If you don't, I'm sorry, I'll see you in April when I do other videos, but otherwise, thank you for watching this one, and I'll see you very soon.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.